Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is NonRevSims and welcome to another Sims 3 how-to video. In today's video tutorial, we will be talking about how to make household portraits like this, and this for your Sims houses. I have been asked how to do this many different times. If you've seen my Generations house work in progress photos, I've been asked almost on every tweet that I post, how do you do those photos? How do you make those photos? How do you get them such high quality? So we are going to be talking about how to get photos of your Sims household and make them into portraits, have them all over the house looking nicely decorated. This video will be split into different parts. You can check the timestamps either in the description or they should be listed on the video if you would like to jump around. But first, we will be talking about how to get portraits of your Sims without any mods or cheats. We're going to be doing it the old-fashioned way first, using the in-game tools, because I know a lot of people don't even know we have access to these things in the game, or you just forget sometimes. So the first portion of this video will be talking about how to get portraits of your Sims without any mods or custom content, and then a little farther on we'll talk about how I personally make my household portraits in the game, because I want them to look a little nicer. Not saying that the ones in game aren't nice, but the ones where you use mods obviously are going to be a little more nicer because you have more flexibility and customization available to you. Let's go ahead and jump into the video and get started with the first portion of today's tutorial. Okay, so for this first part of the video, I have my playtesting Sims, everyone's favorite playtesters. Ooh, not that music, hold up. Like I was saying, I have everyone's favorite playtesters here, Julian on the left and Carolina on the right. You can actually go down, oh my god, okay, you guys gotta relax. You can actually go download Carolina if you would like to. I have her on my Sims 3 exchange page. You won't get her looking like this. You'll get her as she was when I first started the Steel Current household. If you guys know my Steel Current household, this Sim Carolina is actually the matriarch. So she's the one that started it all. You can go download her from the exchange. My name is just RIA190. You can also add me on the Sims 3 exchange if you want to do that. Sometimes I do like to send people little surprises and little gifts. If you have things on your wish list, sometimes I gift people things, so you can go do that if you want to. Also, I will need help from some of you all when I get to the Showtime portion of my legacy for the Clarks, so stay tuned for that. But back to the video. The first and easiest way to get portraits of your Sims, up on the wall is using the photo booth that came with Seasons. Now this photo booth here, it's actually greeting card photos. So I'll have my Sims go over, stop kissing, like y'all relax. You guys aren't even actually married. I just placed them in the game and I made them married for some reason, but these two aren't together. They're from different universes as well, because Julian is from my Midnight Sun Challenge. Wait, honey, what is this? What? Oh my god, I forgot I had Showtime enabled. I was like, why is she dressed like that? I forgot I had Showtime on. Anyway, my Sims are gonna head over to the Seasons greeting card photo booth, and they're going to take a photo together. These do vary depending on what Sims you have taking the photo, as well as the season. So this is summertime, so we'll obviously get the summer photo, and let's go ahead and place it on my Sims wall so you guys can see it. All right, so the first photo we have here is this one. So obviously this is the photo they just took. It looks like this. Again, the backdrop will change depending on the season, as well as the pose will change depending on what Sims you have taking the photo together. The great thing about this is that it is also recolorable, so you can easily just do this and change it depending on what portrait design you're going for. You can put patterns or make it a solid color, whatever you want to do. Also, you guys might have seen this notification here. You can also post it onto your Sims 3 exchange page. Like I said, you can go share all your Sims 3 stuff over there if you would like to do that. We're not going to do that today. So that is the first example. The second way is by using Showtime. So for the photo booth, you obviously need Seasons. For the second way, we will utilize Showtime and some other packs. So I'll have my Sims head over to the second place where we can do that photo. All right, and just like that, my Sims somehow teleported. No, I'm kidding. My Sims have been teleported to the karaoke bar that came with Showtime. We are here because this next part of the tutorial requires Showtime to function, or you can use two other places, but if you have Showtime, you have this available to you. So up in the karaoke bar, we have a photo booth here, so you can take all different sorts of photos with Sims, alone, however you want to do it. You can also woohoo in here if you want to do that as well. Nice woohoo spot in public with a little privacy, so you have that for you. If you see out in the back, we do have some more photo booths. Here again is the one from Showtime, but we also have 2 more. If you do not have the Showtime pack, you still have photo booths available to you if you have University Life. Let me just double check to make sure that's correct. You came with... Yes, it did come with University Life. So if you have University Life, you also have access to the photo booth. And then this final one here is from the Sims 3 store. If you own Roaring Kites and you also purchase the Boardwalk lot, then you also have this photo booth here available to you. So if you don't have Showtime or University, but you have store content, then you have this one in your game. Again, this one is from the Roaring Kites Boardwalk lot. I'm sorry, that is a lot for me to say. I'm like struggling over that word. But you also have this one here available to you. So I'm gonna have my Sims go ahead and utilize the one that came with Showtime, and I'll have them take silly photos together. So we'll see what those come out looking like. But like I mentioned, there's different options. You can take normal photos, silly photos, and romantic photos, and you can do all of that by yourself or with another Sim. So yeah, these two are just gonna go ahead and take some photos. It does cost 10 simoleons. I should also mention the greeting card is free. So if you want to do that, the greeting card is free. This one does cost 10 simoleons. All right, so now let's go to the house and take a look at our photo. All right, so this is the silly pose option here for your Sims. This one is actually really cute. Again, it's recolorable, so if you want these all to match, you can do that. There you go, nice and matched. Another thing I should also mention is that this photo here can be seated on the nightstand. I don't think this one can. No, this one cannot. This one is only meant for the wall. So this one can go like on a surface, or it can go on the wall. But if you're doing like a family collage, obviously you want it on the wall. This one only stays on the wall. So that is the second option. Like I said, it does cost 10 simoleons, so keep that in mind. If your Sims are broke, they may want to go for the greeting card functionality, because that one is free. The third option you can do, but I'm not going to showcase, is by owning Generations. So in Generations, teens have the opportunity to have proms, and when they go to prom, either alone or with a couple or in a couple, they also have access to a greeting card photo. It'll be in their inventory. The pose again depends on the Sims and their relationship. So if your Sim is dating that Sim, it'll be like a more romantic pose. If they're just friends, it'll be like a friendly pose. So that is another option. I can't show that to you because both of my Sims are young adults, and I don't feel like waiting for prom to come around. So we're not even gonna showcase that one, but that one is an option if you own Generations. Ma'am, stop trying to woohoo. All right, the next option I will showcase to you all requires the World Adventures pack. The next option will be utilizing the camera functionality from World Adventures. So here I have 2 cameras. You may need to cheat to get these cameras because you either have to go to one of the tourist destinations, so China, Egypt, or France, to buy a camera, or you can just head into buy debug using the cheat in buy mode to get these. I obviously cheated because we're gonna travel all the way to China for just a camera. So I'm gonna have my Sim here use the most expensive camera, because the most expensive camera, you can choose the size, the filter. It's just more, it's a little bit nicer obviously than the cheaper ones. I also did cheat my Sim's photography level. I used a mod for this, but you don't have to. You can just have your Sim gain the photography skill like normal without using cheats, but I had to do that obviously for this video because we can't wait for him to we can't wait for him to learn all of these skills in this short video. All right, so we have here the camera functionality. So like I said, you can choose a size. You can do medium landscape, large portrait, panorama, small portrait, and then that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and do a small portrait. I love this pose. You're a little restricted with this camera. You can't like move in. You can zoom in if you want, just her face. You can zoom out, but you cannot like move a little closer if she's too far away. If like, let's say if we wanted to take a photo of like that tree right there, we can't you know, get the full tree with everything. We can only zoom in. So that is the drawback. But let's go ahead and take a small portrait photo of Miss Carolina doing what she does best. All right, and then we'll take another one. We'll take a panorama because I've never done that and I already have it ready. So we'll do that. Actually, we'll add a little filter to it as well. So you can flip through the filters. So you have color, black and white, sepia, classic vignette, and then that's it. Those are all the ones. We'll just do color, that's fine. So we'll take that photo. You can also wait around for your sim to do a different pose, or like idle animation, or you can just take it straight up. So we took 2 photos. Let's go place them up on the walls. So when you are using World Adventures by itself, all you need to do is click on the photo. So if it's in the camera, you just click on it like that to get into your Sims inventory. And then from there, all you will need to do is drag it out to the wall and you'll get this small, very tiny frame. Again, recolorable. And then our panorama is going to be a little bit larger and you get this type of frame. The only thing you can do with these is name it and view it. And like I said, it is recolorable. So let's go ahead and recolor it. But again, these frames are a little bit smaller, like that. And then you can also adjust them in buy mode. So we can move this one down. So we can move this one over like that. We can put this one here. Oh, this one's not gonna fit. Wait, there. I was like, why doesn't it fit? That's too close to that one. And then we'll move this one here. All right, and there you have it, our little family collage coming along nicely, utilizing seasons, World Adventures, and University, Showtime, or the Sims 3 store. Again, these photos aren't the best quality. As you can see, it's a little grainy. This one's pretty dark. I should also mention, you should definitely make sure your sim has a higher photography skill. Otherwise, their photos will come out even worse because, you know, sims with low skills don't make the best quality things. So make sure you have that set and ready to go. So I'm gonna move these back to our inventory because we're gonna do something else. The Ambitions expansion pack did come with a set of photo frames, which are very, very handy because they're a little bit bigger, so you can get different types of frames. So here from Ambitions, let me just make this a little easier on myself. Here from Ambitions, we had the panorama frame, which I already have one on this side, so I'll go ahead and utilize this one. Then we had another frame that is a portrait, large portrait. Then we have a medium landscape photo. Then we have these 2 small portraits. So we have this one, if it'll, okay, maybe it won't fit because of this. So let's move this out of the way. We have a small portrait and then an even smaller portrait right there. Again, these are all recolorable. So we can change all of these to look like this. So now the cool thing about these frames that came with Ambitions is that you can easily drop photos into them. So we have this panorama one. Oh, there was a photo in there already. This is my second time making this tutorial, by the way. So we took this photo earlier. So we have this one. And then I took this during the last portion of my tutorial. So you can place in quite a few photos. I'm not sure if there's a limit or not, but you can place in more than one photo here, and it is a digital photo frame, so it'll rotate through your photos. So we have this one here, and then in a few seconds you all will see the photo change. But the also great thing about this is that you can place in, see, there we go, that's the other picture. You can place in all of the photos you took. So now that this small photo booth photo is now very large because we got a larger frame, and we can do the same thing with all the photos. Again, it does look a little odd because it's stretched. It wasn't meant to fit in this size frame. So let's try this one. This is the photo we got from the Seasons Festival. It doesn't fit very nicely because, again, it's not meant for that size. But if you do want to make it larger, you do have that option here. So you can drag it into, oh, that one doesn't look bad. You can drag it into all the frames. But again, if you zoom in, it's not the best quality, but it's still pretty nice. So you can arrange your collage wall just as you want in buy mode. Don't forget, you can also alt place all the photos. So if you want this higher or lower, however you want to do it, it's all up to you. So you can also move this one all the way down to the ground, bring this one here, bring this one up a little bit. There we go. Nice little photo stream of your Sims. And then you can also, like I said, you can add in more than one image. So we can also, oh, that one won't fit there. It'll probably be better in this one. This photo, wait, not that one. This photo can go into here. This one we took of her earlier. So yeah, we also have this one available to us. But like I said, you can drag all of these photos into these frames from Ambitions and get your family collage all set up. For some reason, that photo did not want to fit against the wall, which makes no sense. But hey, I just turned on move objects and now it can go perfectly there. And then we can move this one over as well. And like I said, you can shift it or drag it up and down however you would like. But yeah, here are just some photos of your Sims, all the photos you've taken in all these nice frames. So yeah, you have different options available to you, whether you have Seasons, University Life, Showtime, or the Sims 3 store items. You have lots of different options to making your family collage without any mods or cheats, just utilizing the in-game functions we have available to us. Okay, well, it started raining in my game and then my Sims decided to go ahead and woohoo in the photo booth. I didn't ask them to do that. Y'all gotta chill. Ma'am. Girl. Okay, the next option we have available to us also utilizes functionality from University Life. Okay, so all Sims have a smartphone, again, if you have University enabled, and from here they are able to take photos. So you have different settings you can use with the phone. You can make it portrait or landscape. You can also change the color of the photo. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to go ahead and have my Sim take the photo. Oh, Carolina. Okay, hold on. I want her to actually be in frame. So I need you to stop that. Thank you. And then I'm going to have my Sim come here so he can get a photo of her from the front. Go here, please. And thank you. Hey, so this is future editing me, realizing that this whole issue with Carolina walking away and not listening to me could have been avoided if I would have used the Ask to Pose function. The Ask to Pose interaction was introduced with World Adventures. You will need to have World Adventures enabled to have this available to you, but when you click on Sims, I believe Sims who are teens through elders, I'm not sure if kids can do it, but when you click on Sims who are teens through elders, there is the option that says Ask to Pose. Once you click on that, you can also choose different poses for them to do. I can't remember off the top of my head what the poses are, but I do know there's like a peace sign pose as well as like a waving pose. And when you ask the Sim to do that, they will stay in that one position and do that one pose. So if you are going to utilize the camera phone, anything where your Sim is the one taking the photo, don't forget to utilize the Ask to Pose function so you're not struggling with your Sims like I was. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, and then take the photo now. All right, there we go. So you can again choose the size. With this one, you're restricted. You only have portrait or landscape. You can't do small or big, but this is a phone, so obviously it's not gonna be the best. You can also pick the color using F. You can zoom in and zoom out. The zoom in function is not the best. Again, it's a phone, so yeah, we can take that photo and then open up our camera and view our photo there, and let's go place it in the house. All right, so here is our photo. You can easily just drag it out like that. They all do come with frames automatically, but you can also place them in the frames from Ambitions if you want to do that. But if you don't have Ambitions, don't worry. I've actually never utilized this frame, so I need to. I actually really like the sizing of this. And like I said, you can drag and drop them however you want to, and it looks just like that. That's actually not bad quality for a photo from a phone. That's not bad. Another option we have for Sims to take photos together is under the romantic options. You can click that and then have your Sims take a romantic photo together. Again, this one requires University Life because it uses the cell phone, but your Sims can take a cute little pose. There are different poses available to your Sims depending on what their romantic relationship is, so it's really funny to see the different poses they get based on their relationship. But here we have one more cell phone photo. Again, it comes with its own frame, but you can place it into one of the others from Ambitions, or you can just keep it like that and recolor it and add it to your collage wall. Here's all of the options for getting portraits of your Sims household up on the walls, utilizing the in-game mechanics without any cheats or mods. So you can use Seasons, University Life, Showtime, or World Adventures. Now we are going to jump into the next portion of today's video where I show you guys how I get high quality photos, but this does require mods and maybe poses if you want to get fancy, but let's jump into that portion of the video now. Alright, so for this portion of the video we do have to be in buy mode because most of this stuff is invisible in live mode. So the lights are obviously invisible in live mode as well as the OMSP, but for this next part of the video, we will be utilizing mods to make higher quality photos. And there are two options to do this. I'm going to show you guys one way with using the in-game animations, and then the second way will be using custom poses. So we do have in-game animations that we can unlock using Pose Player. I will have Pose Player linked down in the description. You don't really need a very big tutorial on using Pose Player. It's pretty much just drop it into your mods folder and then find some poses and you can utilize it like that. Yeah, there's not much to Pose Player with needing instructions on how to use it. I will show you guys like a mini tutorial while we are going through this, but yeah, Pose Player is not the most complicated thing in the world if you're just using it to take photos. So yeah, let's head into live mode and I'm gonna teleport my Sims over here so we can get started on this next portion of the video. All right, so my Sims just got here and I will have Miss Carolina. So when you utilize Pose Player, what you can do is pose by name, where you would have to type in the actual pose, or you can choose a pose from a list. So if you have poses installed that come with a list, always look for the ones that include the list. That way you don't have to like type each one by hand. It's easy for you to just select one. So I'm gonna go ahead and click that so you guys can see what it looks like. So I do have a few poses installed and you can just choose it easily. They do include a preview photo so you can see what you're choosing. I find this easier than having to type in the actual pose name, but utilizing the in-game animations, you will need to choose pose by name. I will have a link to a Google spreadsheet where you can see the in-game animations that someone did type out. I'll put that in the description, but there's a whole bunch. They're all different types. If you want a certain pose, you can search through and see if you find it. But yeah, I'll have that linked in the description. We'll be using one of them, so I'll have my sim pose by name and I have it copied already. I just need to paste it, select OK, and then she'll do the pose or animation. Okay, what you can do while she's doing that is pause it. And then you'll need something else that is super handy. You will need these little OMSPs. This is another mod. You just drop it into your mods folder. There's no crazy installation. But yeah, you will also need move objects on to move your sim onto it. And then you just move her around. You can alt move it as well. You can rotate it easily so you can get the best angle for your sims. This is what happens when you don't use OMSP and you rotate your sim. So you can't even tell which way she's rotating until you move her. So if I clicked rotate, she didn't move until I moved her. Rotate again, she didn't move until I moved her. Both OMSP, you can take your sim, rotate her all the way around, and you can also alt rotate, which I love. So we'll place her here. This light setup, you can set up your lights any way that you want to light up your sim. I just prefer to have lights on top and then two in front of them, and then I adjust them depending on where the sim is located. Never put lights behind your sims though. It doesn't give a nice effect if you're taking portraits of your sims. So while she's running through that animation, you can go ahead and have your sim be ready. All right, so then all the lighting's not the best, but it's okay. All right, so we got my sim lined up. We can go ahead and take the photo. You can just drag it onto the wall. And that's all you gotta do. Or you can drag it into the photo frames you have inside the house. And you can wait and see how the animation plays out. If you want to take a photo for like this instead, that works. I believe there are also photos in there for couples. If you want to do a couple photo, you'll just have to line them up nicely. So that is how you utilize the in-game animations. You can also do the same thing with custom poses. If you wanted a different pose, you can also do that. But yeah, that is how you use poses, the in-game ones as well as custom ones, to get portraits of your sims up on the wall. My favorite place to get custom poses is Tumblr. That is primarily where I look. Just go on your favorite CC finds Tumblr and they should have them all organized so you can pick out a certain pose for couples, families, sims by themselves, sims with friends. There's lots of different poses out there. Just search all over Tumblr and I'm sure you'll find one that you really like. And then don't forget, you can also drag and drop these into the frames you have available. So we just placed that other picture of my sim. Even though it was a larger portrait, you can still place it into the smaller portrait and have your collage wall all set up. All right, we have finally reached the long-awaited portion of my video, how I get my high quality photos. So for this portion of the video, you will need Pose Player, you'll need custom poses, you will need Photoshop, and then you will also need this mod called the PosterLoader set. So the PosterLoader set, it'll be linked down in the description. That is the most important part of today's tutorial. That is how I get really nice photos. This does not use any of the in-game mechanics. You do have to have this mod to get the photo to look nicer. Photoshop is optional, but I prefer it because I do like to edit my Sims photos. I do like to add a bit of coloring, a little extra brightness and vibrance just to get that little oomph to my Sims photos. So you don't have to use Photoshop, but I prefer it. So what we're gonna do is get my Sims into a pose. I would also like to say a huge thank you to Simply Harry for first introducing me to this mod and doing the original video on the tutorial of how to use the Poster Set Studio. Without him, I would have not even known that this mod existed. So thank you to Simply Harry for that wonderful tutorial that showed me how to use the Poster Set Studio in the first place. I just realized the light was rotated the wrong way. Okay, we got the light set up correctly. That's perfect. I don't want it too bright, so you can see the difference between this and this. This is the good spot. All right, so your Sims are all posed up. You can go ahead and utilize the tab camera. To do that, all you do is press tab, and then what I recommend is that you zoom in all the way. You may need to back up, but make sure your camera is zoomed all the way in. You can use the keys. You can use the keys to get your desired angle. I do prefer my photos to be close up just a little bit because I feel like that gives the best quality. And yeah, I think this looks good. Can lower it down just a little bit. And you can take a few from different angles. I normally take 3 photos, and then from there I choose whichever one is the best one. But yeah, you got a few different options like that. So that's all you have to do to take your photos. Now, depending on what size you play The Sims 3 in, the photos will be in that size. I play in 16:9, but the mod, the PosterLoader set, does require your sizing to not be 16:9. We'll talk about that once we get into the PosterLoader set portion of this tutorial. So yeah, go ahead and you can save your game, do whatever you want, close out of this. I did also forget to mention that when you are doing these photos, make sure you use a duplicate or backup of your current save. When you use move objects on your Sims, weird things can happen if you continue to play in that save. So again, make a duplicate save of the Sims you want to take photos of. So like this, I won't continue to play with this save because I did use move objects on my Sims. Weird things happen when you use move objects on your Sims. You may find that if you send them upstairs, like on the second level of the house, they'll be floating through the first level, or if they go to sleep on the second level, they'll lay down and then they'll be floating through the first floor. If you play Sims 3 and you use move objects on your Sims, you know exactly what glitch I'm talking about. So again, make a duplicate save of the Sims you want to take a photo of and use that backup of those Sims to take the photos. Do not use move objects on your Sims that you actually play with, okay? You will have some weird things happening to your Sims. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this next portion of the tutorial where I show you guys how to utilize the PosterLoader Studio. All right, so here I have the Poster Set Loader Studio download page here for you guys to see. You will need to download 2 things. You'll need to download this one as well as this one. This is the Poster Set Loader. You need both. So this one itself is an application. This one is the mod to get the photos to show up in your game. So again, you need both. This one you can just have it. It comes as a folder like this. The second mod, so the loader here, I already have it in my mods folder right here. You just throw that into your mods folder and it is all ready to go for you. There's no setup needed, nothing to do to set up the mod. You just put this one in your mods folder, and then this one you keep as a folder, and I'll show you guys how to use this one. Do keep in mind though that when you are making photos or taking photos for your Sims, you will need to have them resized. Do keep in mind that you will need to use an aspect ratio of 4:3 for landscape photos and 3:4 for portrait photos. So again, 4:3 aspect ratios for landscape, 3x4 for portrait. If you would like to use my dimensions, this is the ones I use. For landscape photos, you can use my dimensions, which are 1372 by 1029. That works out perfect. And then for portrait photos, my dimensions are 810 by 1080. So again, keep it in these dimensions and you will be good to go. Or you can use your own. Just make sure the aspect ratio is either 3x4 or 4x3 so they look perfect. And I can just show you guys what these photos look like now. After my editing, this is the photo that I got. I did add a bit of brightness, and then it's the same photo for the portrait. So this is what they ended up looking like. I'm not going to show you guys my whole editing process because this video would be an hour long, but no, I'm kidding. You can use any free editor. There are a few that are online if you don't have Photoshop, but I prefer using Photoshop just because I'm used to it. So you can edit your photos however you would like to. If you don't plan on editing them, then do make sure that you resize them into the appropriate dimensions. Otherwise, your photos will look a little wonky in the actual photo frames. So to actually get these nice quality photos into the game, you will need to open up the folder for the PosterLoader Studio and then open up the PosterLoader Studio like this. Don't worry, this is not as scary as S3PE. And then you will click File, New, and you can name the photos. I typically name it, what did I name these photos? For my Clark household, I normally just name it like Clark household, but I won't do that this time. We'll just name this tutorial. And then the artist, I always make that the Clark household. So I always make the artist the Clark household because that is obviously the current household leprosy I'm playing. So that is the artist. And then what you'll do is click add, and then you will open up the folder or the area where your photos are, and then one by one you will need to do this. So select your first photo. For me, that is tutorial V1, which is the portrait version. And then you can name this, I'll keep it named tutorial V1, that's fine. Or you can rename this to whoever the Sims are. The artist, you can make it the same way. And then price. My Sims are typically very, very wealthy, so I always make the photos either 500 to or 1,000 simoleons. And then I normally make the environment score around 50, which is a little bit over high. You can do very high if you want, or you can do none if you don't want it to be too cheaty. And this just impacts the Sims moodlets when they're in the room that has this photo. So if you know your Sim gets that nicely decorated moodlet, it's from having like more expensive things in the house. I like that to be a little bit higher. If you're paying 1,000 simoleons for each photo, then it should definitely be that high. But if you don't want it too cheaty, you can leave it as none. But for me, I'm gonna be cheaty. I don't care. All right, and then add your second photo. We can leave the name the same again, and then Clark household. And then price, 1,000 simoleons. Please keep in mind that the price, you will have to pay whatever this number is doubled. Since I have two photos here, the total cost will be 2,000 simoleons because it's going to take into account the price of each actual poster. So because each one is 1,000 and I have two, it's going to be 2,000. And then same thing, environment score 50. You can go through again and make sure these are the two photos you want, and that's all you do. You can remove a photo, you can add a photo, however you want to do this, however many photos you want to add. I think the most I've added was maybe 13 photos, so I'm not sure if there's a limit, but I've added 13 photos before. It's just make sure your Sims can afford it, because if they cannot afford it, it will not show as an option. So yeah, make sure you give it a reasonable price for your Sims to actually afford the photos. Then you're going to click save, and you will name this item, and I'm going to name this tutorial photos. Hit save, and it's saved. All you do is click OK. And then go over to your folder, and here you have a handy dandy package file. Yes, you just created your first mod. Congratulations. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you will throw this into your mods folder. Again, making sure that you have the poster set loader mod already in your game. You will take this and throw this into your game. Obviously I already have one, but you don't. So throw that into your game, and when you get it all loaded up, you will see these photos in game, and I'll show you guys how you can see them in game. When you're done with this, all you gotta do is exit, close this out. All right, so now you've made your poster set. Now it's time to actually see them in game. So you're gonna head into your buy mode and then go to decor, and then go to wall decorations. You can filter this and show your custom content only because the mod itself is actually custom content, but you have various sizes of photo frames. Make sure that you use these and not the ones that came from Ambitions. So the ones from Ambitions will not work. I'll show you guys that as well. So let me go ahead and get the Ambitions ones. So I'm gonna first get out all of the mod version, and you know it's modded version because it's called PosterLoader. So you have a large version for the landscape, then you have a large version for portrait. These are very, very large frames. I know, it's okay. We'll talk about that. Then you have these medium sizes, which I typically use. These are my go-to. The medium sizes are my go-to. I just don't typically have wall space that is this large for my Sims. So these are just a little too large for my taste, but it's all good. Don't even worry about that. So then these are of course recolorable. I'm just gonna grab the white from the other frames that we have and recolor them all. And then yeah, that's it. If we go back into live mode, what you can do here is go ahead and click purchase poster set. And from here we have a few different poster sets available to us. Obviously this is my Clark household, but we're looking for the one called Portrait Tutorial. Like I mentioned earlier, it costs 2,000 simoleons and the artist is Clark household. What you're gonna go ahead and do is just click buy. And then you will get these little scroll looking things, and here are your little portraits, just like that. So what you're gonna do is go ahead and take your portrait and place it into there, drag and drop, or you can click open and drag it in there. This one you can only have a limit of 1 photo, so this one obviously does not change like the digital photo frames, which I forgot to buy, oops. But let me show you guys the digital photo frames. So these are the ones that came with Ambitions. Obviously they're a little bit smaller. They fit in a little bit nicer. So yeah, like I said, we have these here from Ambitions. If we wanted to take these little scrolls and place them here, if you try to drag it, nothing will happen. It does not go in that frame. Even if you open up the frame to try to place it, it will not go because it does not register these as photos for these frame sizes. And I know you're thinking like, well, what if I wanted a photo that's this small? Like, I like the way this collage over here looks. I want photos of various sizes. There's a workaround. So if you are someone who uses the Poster Set Studio, Poster Set Loader, and you did not know this, you can use one more additional mod to actually get your poster set. So these HQ photos, you cannot place these on the wall either. They just stay as a little scroll until you place them into the actual frame. But if you wanted like photos of varying sizes like this, and you utilize the Poster Set Studio, you can use the Transmogrifier mod. I will have a link to this down in the description. I'm not going to give a full tutorial on this one because there are lots of things to do with this mod. If you already have this mod in your game, then you know where I'm going with this. But for those of you that don't, the Transmogrifier mod is a really cool mod that you can change pretty much the script of lots of different objects. Let's say you want to turn this seat into, I don't know, maybe a hamper. You can copy the script from this hamper and change it to this seat, and Sims will use this as a hamper. Go read all the documentation over on Mod the Sims. I'm not going to showcase anything from it. Again, go read the information first. That is the mod we're going to use to get our high quality photos into these photo frames. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, if you desperately wanted to and you loved your Sims that much, you can definitely use these frames here. I do have another one. I do have a few more out here to showcase that, but yeah. So now let's go ahead and utilize the Ambitions frame. So we can just sell these, sell that, and let's get in some Ambitions frames because I like the sizing of those. I like how they're a little bit smaller. Whoops, I already have one here. I like how they are a bit smaller and they're more compact, so I feel like I can do more stuff with these, or I can place these in more areas. I just prefer the Ambitions frames for a few more options when it comes to making my family's portrait wall. So we got 3 different sizes here ready to go. You can add more or less if you want. What you will do is, again, you need the Transmogrifier mod in your game. You are gonna you're gonna hit Control Shift on your keyboard to be able to click, Control Shift, click on it, and then click copy script. You are going to copy the script from the poster set frame, copy script, and then you'll get a little pop-up here that says the script name, and then you're going to come over to these Ambitions frames, and one by one you're going to Control Shift click again, click change script. You don't need to do anything, don't type in anything, just hit enter. Then you're going to do it again for this one. Control Shift change script, enter. Control Shift change script, enter. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And then we're gonna go and take our little photo. So this is a landscape version. We'll place it here and watch what happens now when you drag this. Boom, landscape photo. What you can also do is purchase photos directly from there. Before you couldn't, but now you can. So now we have the portrait version, and we'll purchase one more. And then we have the portrait version again. Boom, simple as that. Was that not super easy? And now you can adjust these, add in whatever photos you want to, move them around like this wall over here. And you got yourself some nice looking photos. You can do the same thing on this one. So this one that I think was from university with the phone. Again, we'll go into buy mode, change script, PosterLoader Studio. Let's say I like that frame way more. I've actually never seen this frame, but that's because I haven't gotten to the university portion of my legacy. And then, oh, we don't have another. Let's purchase one more. We need another portrait size. And then boom. I really like this frame. I cannot wait to get to the university portion of my legacy. And you can move around these frames how you want, however you want. You can adjust them. So we can move this one up, move it over here, move this one. You may need to use move objects because this one is a little finicky. Thank you. You can use move objects if you want to. And then move this over, and again, adjust the photos however you want to make your nice little collage. On the outside of this, I already have a collage set up of all the photos I've taken. But yeah, there you go. That is how you utilize the PosterLoader Studio as well as the Transmogrifier mod to make even more portraits and a little sim collage of your Sims. Again, you can change their outfits, do the photos, and just get it however you want to. And that's literally it, guys. Couldn't be any more easier. Anyway, I hope you all found this video helpful. If you have any questions about any portion of this, if I wasn't clear on anything, if you're confused about poses or making the Transmogrifier mod work or where to download these things, then you can comment down below. Obviously, you can see here, you can see my sim has the beautifully decorated moodlet from being in this room full of all of these photos. Clearly, she loves looking at herself, but it's okay, girl. Me too. All right, guys, like I said, I hope you found this helpful. If you did find it helpful, please give this video a huge like. Let me know your thoughts or comments down below. Do you plan on making a collage wall? Oh, look. Oh, he said it's not all that. Okay, well, Julian thinks it ain't all that. If you think differently than Julian and you like this photo collage, then comment down below, or you can tweet me on Twitter at NonRevSims. If you enjoy my content and you would like to see more, if you'd like to see more Sims 3 or Sims in general, then definitely hit that subscribe button. I will see you all in the next one.